All right, let's get right into it. Here's what went down on X yesterday, Friday, August 29th, 2025. So yesterday on X was, well, it was a real mix. You had these crazy viral rumors just clashing head-on with some pretty huge AI breakthroughs. At the same time, a whole national movement just caught fire online. It was a wild one. Okay, so let's look at the top headlines from yesterday. So we've got a lot to cover. First, this completely bizarre Trump is dead rumor that just caused absolute chaos. Then on the flip side, XAI released a really groundbreaking new coding model. We also saw the Save Britain movement just trend globally, seemingly out of nowhere. And if that wasn't enough, the platform itself was having a tough time with widespread outages. Oh, and to top it all off, the US ended a major import exemption that's going to affect a lot of online shoppers. Yeah, it was a packed day for sure. All right, first up, AI. This is a story of innovation and conflict, all wrapped into one, because XAI was making headlines for some great reasons and some not so great ones. So, the big news on the innovation front was that XAI released a brand new, super fast agentic coding model for Grok. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, for developers, it's a huge deal. It's basically a tool that helps them write and fix code way faster and, this is the key part, for a lot less money. And believe me, it made some serious waves right out of the gate. And the feedback from users? It was pretty much immediate and overwhelmingly positive. People were reporting huge cost savings and saying the performance was just blowing competitors like Claude out of the water. I mean, you can't ask for a better launch than that. That's a massive win for XAI, no question. But here's the other side of the coin. While the tech team was popping champagne, the legal department was busy, really busy. First, XAI sued one of their own former engineers, accusing them of stealing secrets and handing them over to OpenAI. Ouch. And then, at the same time, they got hit with a lawsuit themselves. A company called Eliza Labs is suing X, claiming the platform basically just copied its AI features and data. So you see this pattern, right? The faster the innovation, the bigger the legal headaches. So all this exciting and dramatic stuff is happening, but it's happening on a platform that was really showing some serious signs of strain yesterday. I'm talking about thousands of users. Yesterday afternoon, if you tried to log on, you might have had a bad time. People all over the world were seeing feeds that wouldn't load, posts just vanishing. It was a pretty big disruption, and it kind of put a spotlight on the platform's stability or lack thereof. And the issues weren't just technical glitches. It was also about the business side of things. A really big social media management platform, one that tons of businesses rely on, announced they're dropping support for X. And they were very clear why. They cited increased costs and restrictions because of recent API changes. You know, the API is what lets other apps talk to X. So when you make that more expensive and restrictive, it has real consequences. This is a big deal for the ecosystem around the platform. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the global flashpoints. These were the big, heated conversations that really took over the platform yesterday, and we're just going to report on what was being discussed. So this one came out of left field. A rumor started spreading that Trump is dead. It wasn't verified, there was no source, but it just went viral. It absolutely exploded across the platform. And for a few hours, it was just total confusion and speculation everywhere. But this is where it gets interesting. As this rumor was spreading like wildfire, community notes, the platform's own crowdsourced fact-checking system, really kicked into high gear. You started seeing these notes pop up under the most viral posts, basically saying, hey, this is an unverified claim. And that really did seem to help slow it down and counter the misinformation. At the same time, over in the UK, a whole different conversation was taking off. The phrase Save Britain started trending. It was all centered around people showing the British flag, and it was tied to conversations about immigration. The whole thing got a massive signal boost when Elon Musk himself posted just those two words, Save Britain. And then, tragically, there was the news of a church shooting in Minneapolis. As the details started to come out, the conversation on X really zeroed in on the fact that the shooter was identified as a transgender person. This, as you can imagine, sparked incredibly intense debates that touched on everything from gun violence and gun control to broader transgender issues. So that was yesterday, a day of incredible tech, shaky platforms, and intense global debates. What does it all mean for today and the days ahead? Let's talk about what's next. Okay, so here's what to keep an eye on. First, we're obviously waiting for any official response to that Trump is dead rumor. Second, those XAI lawsuits, those are just getting started. Third, we need to watch the economic impact of that new import rule in the US. It's called the de minimis exemption, and ending it could mean prices for a lot of stuff you buy online are about to go up. And finally, that Save Britain conversation is definitely not going away anytime soon.
You know, when you put it all together, it really leaves you with one big question. We have AI that can practically code itself, and at the same time, we have rumors that can circle the entire planet in minutes on the very same platforms. So, as AI gets more and more powerful and becomes totally integrated into our lives, who's actually responsible for the truth anymore?
And that's the report for yesterday. This has been the Daily X Report, brought to you by MakeXGreat.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the latest.